1 p.m.
Good evening.
Will, Madam Clerk, will you please take roll call?
Yes. Councilwoman Louise Campbell.
Here.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez.
Here.
Councilwoman Katrina Gonzalez.
Here.
Is she here?
Yes.
Okay. And Councilor Brent Huffey.
Here.
You have 4.
Thank you. Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Sanchez, would you please lead us in the pledge? To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Councilors, do you see any additions, deletions we need to table, or motion to approve? I have a motion approved by Councilor Gonzalez. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Jaramillo. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We have the approval of minutes now. Councilors, you have the minutes in your packet. Have you had a chance to review them? Do you see any changes?
Motion to approve.
I do have 2 changes. I wasn't sure how I was supposed to do it. Under the governing body present, I believe Councilor Jason Gonzalez was left out.
Oh, on the minutes, you mean?
On the minutes. And then on item 238, Cuesta Police Department, I believe the P on police should be a capital. Minor things, but I have a motion to approve by Councilor Jaramillo. Do I have a second?
Second. Sorry. Trying to find my password for the computer.
Can you hear me?
What was the second? Sorry.
Katrina second.
And Councilor Jaramillo was first?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
It was the last time.
Madam Clerk, do you usually call this when we're doing approvals first and second?
She didn't hear you.
Madam Clerk, do you usually call like roll when we do the motions and seconds?
Only for action items.
Okay. But does that include the agenda and the minutes as well?
No, it's just all in favor, say aye.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Just clarification there. It's been a while around a meeting.
That's okay.
Next we have public comments. Do we have anyone in the audience who would like to address any public comments? Madam Administrator or Clerk, did anyone call in with anything for public comments?
No one called in, as far as I know. Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay, so let's move on to item number 7, introductions. Chief Montes, I believe you have the floor, sir.
Perfect. Thank you so much again for having us. I'm happy to announce that we filled our final vacancy that we've had for some time now. With me here is Robert Scott Wayne, goes by Scott. So Robert comes to us as an Army veteran, 26 years or 27 years in law enforcement in Texas, and served in Taos County with the Taos County Sheriff's Office. He's served as an officer with the as a campus police officer, correct? And as well as a deputy sheriff in Texas. So he comes to us with plenty of experience, and you know, he's very knowledgeable. And again, just a wealth of knowledge, and we're happy to have him on board. He started with us last week, and you know, we got him set up with equipment and everything last week or 2 weeks ago, and he started on the street last week. So we're happy to have him on board.
Very good. Welcome, Officer Wade. Welcome to the team. Glad to have you here. Counselor, do you have any questions for our officer, our new officer?
Just welcome. I appreciate you coming over to the village.
Yes, sir.
Welcome and thank you for your service, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
And he does live locally, so that's a plus.
Very good. That is a plus. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you being here and your service in the armed forces.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just a couple of minutes, I know it's been a bit since I've been at a meeting, but I wanted to give you guys just a quick update with the department. So since our last meeting that I was able to speak, just real quick, as far as numbers go, my office has had approximately 43 physical arrests since the last time that we spoke. 11 of those were DWIs, most of which were subsequent offenses. We've had 32 other arrests, to include narcotics offenses, larcenies, burglaries, warrants, you know, miscellaneous types of arrests that we've had out of our office. We've had approximately 860 traffic stops with approximately 494 citations issued, and 215 calls for service since the last time we spoke. Our calls for service have dipped substantially from the time we started. Of those numbers, in the last 6 months, we've only had 2 reported burglaries and 3 reported thefts. So again, our numbers continue to decline as far as crime and thefts and burglaries go. Again, these are things that are reported. Whether they're unreported or, you know, they go unreported, I would definitely, you speak to people, they need to report these crimes so we know how to, you know, so we can handle these issues and follow these crime trends. We've also had arrests for narcotics trafficking and some in other areas. So we've seen and have had a lot of successful prosecution in a lot of these cases. So we're seeing a lot of success when it comes to our department.
Very good. Those are impressive numbers, Chief. Thank you very much. I know that I've heard some complaints about the, I think it's the Embargo Road, about the trafficking, the narcotics over on that road. But I do tell people to call your office, call the village, call 911, do what they need to do, because there's nothing you can do if they don't do their work.
Again, you know, these are things that we hear, overheard, and unconfirmed type things, right? So unless we hear it from the sources themselves, there's not a lot that we can even do as far as, you know, other than patrol these areas and that sort of thing, step up our patrols. But if we don't hear from people that are, you know, actively involved and actually get information that we can work off of, which if we're able to get information, we're able to work these cases and we're doing a good job with them. You know, they are going, and we're getting successful prosecution. However, again, if they go unreported, you know, it's word of mouth. We can't use that in a criminal case. You know, it's not good enough. So we need to, again, just report these things, and, you know, any useful information needs to be put out there.
Thank you, Chief.
No worries. Any questions?
Counselor, do you have any questions for the Chief? Counselor Gonzalez, do you have any questions for the Chief? You can hear me.
I have no questions. Maybe a comment. The boys doing a very good job up there. Traffic seems to be slowing down substantially. With the crime, you guys taking care of it. I just think everybody is wonderful safer. Thank God for everything you guys are doing. It's something that you guys hear. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you again, Chief.
Thank you.
Next we move on to public hearing. Mr. LaFleur.
Well, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem and council members. This evening, I'm here to present or request a variance for Mr. Andamo Sanchez. He's in the audience as well. Mr. Sanchez has some property located at 40 St. Catherine Drive within the village limits, approximately 0.44 acres. And he would like to place a 16 by 50 prefab home on that particular lot. In your packet you have a map showing the location of the property. And it is currently zoned within an R1 district, and that district requires a 1 acre minimum. So that's the purpose for the variance request, and I'll have Mr. Sanchez come up to the podium, and we'll both stand for questions if you have any. Thank you. Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Sanchez.
Any questions?
I have no questions. To me, it was pretty straightforward.
Thank you, councilors.
So, motion to approve.
We are part of the public hearing at this time, so, okay. No, it does say we can have a discussion, consideration, decision. All right. I have a motion by Councilor Jaramillo on the floor.
Second.
And a second by Councilor Katrina Gonzalez. All in favor? Or take roll, Madam Clerk?
Okay, Councilwoman Louise Gallego,
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Katrina Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Brent Fabio.
Yes.
Okay, thank you all.
Motion is approved.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Sanchez, I have this letter here for you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's see this.
Alrighty, on to the next item is discussion, consideration, and decision of variance application for Mr. Larry Sanchez at 1115 Abaco Road.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem and members of council. This evening we're requesting a variance for Mr. Larry Sanchez. He has a property located at 115 Embargo Road in the village of Cuesta. Approximately, I guess we didn't have, hold on 1 second, I have it here. It's approximately 0.43 of an acre. And Mr. Sanchez is requesting authorization to build a 15 by 25 addition to an existing garage at his property. That property is located within an R1 district, and that R1 district has a 1 acre minimum. Mr. Sanchez is in the audience this evening. I'll call him up to the podium, and we'll stand for any questions if you have any.
Mr. Sanchez, welcome.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, Council. I come before you to get approved on a variance. I want to add on to my existing carport. So I appreciate the support.
Definitely. Councilors?
No questions. Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilor Brent Jaramillo and a second by Councilor Katrina Gonzalez. Madam Clerk?
Councilwoman Louise Gallego,
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Katrina Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Brent Fabio.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez. It is approved.
Thank you.
I'll draft your letter. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, next we have discussion, consideration, and decision, acceptance of CURE's proposal for abatement at Cuesta Firehouse using CES contract number 2024-13-C121-8LL and granting the mayor the authority to sign the final negotiated contract. Councilors, do you have any questions? Or Madam Who's doing this? Madam Clerk? Jake?
I think clerk is doing it.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So in your packets, I provided a memorandum of the procurement. I also stated in the memorandum of why this is very important. We did have a company which is also peers go out to the firehouse and do a hazardous material investigation, I suppose you could call it that. And this is to abate all of the hazardous material that was found over at the firehouse. As you all are aware, we did pass a grant for the firefighters to get some of them paid. And I really think it's important that we get this approved tonight, that way we can get the renovation started. Renovations will not happen until the abatement happens, and I really hate to see the firehouse kind of go down further than it already is. So I really think that it's important that we get this abatement done so we can start renovations and have a healthy and renovated place for our firefighters to have a home until, you know, we can work on getting them a new fire station.
Councilors, do you have any questions for our clerk?
No questions.
No questions.
Motion to approve the acceptance of VoQ's proposal.
Second.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
We have a first by Councilor Katrina Gonzalez, and we have a second by Councilor Brent Jaramillo.
Oh, thank you. All right, Councilwoman Luis Gallegos,
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Katrina Gonzalez,
Yes. Yes.
okay, Councilman Brent Jaramillo.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, next item, we have discussion, consideration, and decision acceptance of WH Pacific proposal to conduct a PER for the Village of Cuesta wastewater treatment facility using a CES contract number 2023-01-C2111-ALL and granting the mayor authority to sign the final negotiated contract. Councilors, do you have, Madam Clerk?
Okay, so this is basically the same thing. In your packet, I provided a memorandum stating why this is important. I would like to say this is tied into that ONRT funding that we have. In order to get that money released, or at least designated at some point, it is being required of us to do a PER on the wastewater facility. So this is a great benefit to our community. If you have any questions, I stand for any questions, but this one's pretty straightforward.
Councilors, do we have any questions for our clerk?
No questions.
No questions. Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilor Katrina Gonzalez and a second by Councilor Brent Jaramillo. Madam Clerk?
All right, Councilwoman Luis Gallegos,
Yes?
Councilman Jason Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Katrina Gonzalez,
Yes.
and Councilman Brent Jaramillo.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have discussion, consideration, decision on local bar fiscal year 2025, quarter one.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and councilors.
Good evening.
My packet was a little smaller this time because I didn't get a chance to finish it as I explained in the email. However, I did include the local budget adjustment request for our first quarter of fiscal year 2025. There's not much to explain in there except that I'm just moving money around each of the different departments to have the line items with no negative balances. stand for any questions.
Counselors, do we have any questions for our administrator?
No questions. Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion on the floor by Councilor Rantanio to approve, and a second by Katrina Gonzalez. Madam Clerk?
Councilwoman Luz Cayos,
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Katrina Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Brent Cadamian.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next item is discussion, consideration, and decision, Resolution 2024-24 State Bar Fiscal Year 2025 Quarter 1.
Mayor Pro Tem and Councilors, I included in your packet this budget adjustment request. One of the very interesting things I like to say is that the library rural initiative grant came in $12,717 more than what was budgeted.
Wow.
We actually budgeted what they received last year. It was like about $3,600, and this year it went up quite a bit. She does expect it to go up again next year. So we're very excited about that. She's already making plans on how to spend this money. We haven't talked too much about the expenses yet, so I didn't put the expenses in there too much, but she would be interested in hiring somebody to start training to take her place when she retires.
Yes.
And it's quite a lot to learn for the library. Ms. Nicholson has been there several years, so we will be looking to see if that is a good use of funds for that. We also have the library, the older section of the library. We have a grant to do some renovations in there, and we are going to have a hazardous material assessment done before that, and we can use these funds to handle that as well. So that probably will come as a future budget adjustment request to cover that expense. The other things are pretty much straightforward. We did have fire department contract services, miscellaneous other for $48,000. That is the stipends and stuff, some of the stipends that we paid out to the firefighters for a grant that they received last year. For the other operating costs of $25,000. We have grants that we received monies, reimbursements for that weren't budgeted, and expenditures that we incurred. And let me see what else is pretty big in here. Expenses on the bridge for the plan and design. It's one of the bigger items. I think that's pretty close to all of it. We did get more money from LORE.
Oh, good.
Which is Fund 218, private other $60,000. So they're really helping us. We're going to give you a full report on all the monies that have come in from LORE and how we've expended them and monies yet to expend.
Thank you.
But procurement is in the works for those. One of the big things is new heaters for the fire department garages to keep those fire trucks warm in the winter.
Good.
So procurement is underway for that. Is that for any questions?
Councilors, any questions for the administrator?
No questions.
No questions.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilor Katrina Gonzalez and a second by Councilor Jaramillo. Madam Clerk?
Councilwoman Luz Cayos,
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Katrina Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Brent Cadamian.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Yeah. Just go into the fight. I got another cord in my eye.
Next item, we have discussion, consideration, and decision carried forward October 8th, 24 meeting, approval for award of RFP 2024-01 for Village of Cuesta on-call airport engineer, Lochner, and to approve contract number 2024-01 with Lochner. Madam Clerk?
Okay. Second time's the charm, I suppose. In your packets, I have included two documents, including the service contract for this RFP, a staff recommendation that basically comes from me, and then an evaluation committee report. I know that I was not here for the last council meeting, but I was told it was the wording and just making sure that it gets approved in the correct way. So really the only documents that I've added on here are the staff recommendation and the evaluation committee report, and that's just more for informational purposes. Everything else stands the same, but I'm here for any questions if you have any.
Councilors, do we have questions for our Madam Clerk?
No questions.
Me either.
A motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilor Brent Jaramillo and a second by Councilor Katrina Gonzalez. Madam Clerk?
Councilwoman Luis Gallegos,
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Katrina Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Brent Jaramillo.
Yes.
Thank you. Next item is discussion, consideration, and decision carried forward from October 8th, 24 meeting, resolution number 2024-23, Village requests to support a green hydrogen project. Councilors, do we have any questions for our clerk?
I'm bringing this back over from the last meeting. Again, I know I wasn't here, but I know that there was some asks about whether this had been given to our attorney. I typically don't send resolutions to our attorneys, but I understand the need for this one as it is a large project. So it was sent over to our attorney. He did review it. He made some changes, added some stuff, and then it was also sent back over to the mayor so he can review that. And so in your packet, we have included the final version of the resolution. If you have questions on this topic, I will do my best to answer them. If not, maybe Jake can help me as he was on the committee there for a little while.
Councilors, do we have any questions for our clerk?
No questions for me.
No questions.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion by Councilor Brent Jaramillo. Do I get a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Katrina Gonzalez. Madam Clerk?
Councilwoman Luis Gallegos,
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Katrina Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Brent Jaramillo.
Yes.
Very good, thank you. That concludes all our action items for this evening. Next on the agenda is matters from the administrator.
Good evening again.
Good evening.
So we have a few things to inform you about. The governor sent over a letter asking us to be part of her campaign dedicated to the state beautification and litter cleanup efforts, and its efforts to keep New Mexico clean and beautiful. And they asked us to have a cleanup day either last Friday or sometime this week. We are to take pictures and make a list of participants and give them a number of trash bags or weight of trash collected and any large or unusually shaped items that are disposed of. So we need to report back to them what we did in the cleanup. So what we have decided to do is work on the Red River Restoration Trail from the lake over to Molly Corfield Park. That space there has a lot of trash. Mr. Lafayette and I had gone over there and looked at the condition of the entrances in there. So we found some trash. There's also like weeds and that kind of stuff that needs to be done. I don't know if we'll get that far, but we'd like to clean that trail as part of this thing. We will be closing the office on Friday from 2 to 5 in order to do so. Most of the other departments aren't able to help, but we are sending out an email to them asking if they would like to join us. So it'll be the administration office that is taking care of that.
This Friday?
This Friday from 2 to 5. And Ms. Hill has vests for all of us to use and gloves and safety equipment. So she'll get back from her clerk conference in time to help us with that.
Good job.
So we also received an email requesting participation in the Red Ribbon Week Community Candlelight Vigil on October 30th at 6 p.m. at Perovich Park. And they did bring over some red for you to wear on that day or that week.
Oh, nice, thank you.
And they asked if any of you would like to participate in the event on Wednesday evening, to let them know so that they can put you on the list to speak. So this long one is a bracelet to use, and then the life is a movie film drug-free Red Ribbon Week, October 23rd to 31st.
Who do we contact?
So we have to contact Pastor Christie.
Okay.
Over at the Harvest Church.
And just seeing that email, Counselor.
Oh, okay.
Karen sent it yesterday. I hadn't seen it till this evening.
So that would be great if you all can participate. Mr. Lafayette and I will be headed back from the infrastructure conference. It doesn't end until 5 o'clock, so we probably won't make that event. But that would be great if you could participate in that. November 1st from 3 to 6 p.m. is our trunk or treat over at the business park. We will start set up at 2 o'clock. The office will be closed. We have several organizations that will be participating, and all of our office is going to be out there. The utility guys will be bringing out the big digital signs to to direct people. It's going to be great. Mr. Hill is going to pick up the candy on her way back from her conference this week, and she's got several people that have signed up, and we had a couple calls this week already of participants that would like to be also in attendance. So if you could come, that would be great as well. We'd like to have you. Ms. Valerie, our clerk, is at Certification Institute in Albuquerque this week. Mr. Lafayette and I will be at the Infrastructure Conference Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week in Albuquerque.
Oh, that's right.
And then we will also be participating in a tabletop exercise with the Village of Cuesta, Kate Carson Electric, Kate Carson Propane, and the Taos County Office of Emergency Management. It's on Thursday, November 7th from 1 to 4 at the Youth Center. The discussion is based for roles and responsibilities during an emergency, walking through example scenarios, and then following an overview of the scenario, participants will discuss their role in response to the major incident. We're going to test the response capabilities to the major emergency personnel of the Village of Cuesta and Taos County. So I don't exactly know what the scenario is going to be, but for an example, if there was a gas leak, if there was a huge power outage, wildfire, something like that, and we'll be given an exercise of how will we respond. And the police chief will be there, fire chief will be there, people here from the administration office, different key people that will participate in this so that we can have an idea of practice in case of an emergency.
Yeah, like an incident command
Emergency
center.
response, yes.
Okay.
So I think it's really important that we participate in these. This is the first one We also have our public information officer that will be there because that's a key thing on how we're gonna notice to the public. We're gonna look at all our resources. How would we handle this situation? And it's kind of in preparation if it would happen. Or something else that would happen. So we'll be taking, involved in that.
Karen, the example, the live example that they're going to use is if the Pendleton propane facility up there had a major explosion.
Good job. Good idea.
And that would affect everybody, so.
Within
Traffic.
2-mile radius.
2-mile radius, yeah. So we'll be looking at that and see what we come up with. Monday, November 11th is Veterans Day. It's one of our paid holidays, so the offices will be closed. And also on that day, there's the grand opening of the Veterans Cemetery in Taos. They have asked, the county has asked for 100 flags from the Healing Field inventory with the rebar to set up over there. We have a meeting here tomorrow night with Kit Carson Electric Advisory Group. And then Thursday or Friday, we will have the guys bring all the flags and the rebar here so that the county can come and pick them up and use them over there at the event that they're going to have. So Mr. Hill and I will be in attendance at that event.
Thank you.
And Mr. Lafayette has successfully completed another auction.
Oh!
You have the document in front of you. It's placed in front of you there. It's placed there for you so that you can see the items that you approved and how much you got for those items in the auction. He was very busy today. Some people already came and picked up their items.
Really?
Do you want to say anything, Mr. Lafayette?
No, just that it's getting easier and easier. So, you know, practice makes perfect, and appreciate the council's support in helping us get rid of some of these items appropriately and in the right way.
Yes.
And I know that the people that are buying these items are also very happy with them.
Oh, good. I'm glad to see that the modulars went.
Yeah, we did.
Are those the ones that got picked up?
Not quite, Counselor.
We still got quite a bit of money for those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're very impressed.
Good job. Yeah, we're very impressed with you and the way you put this together and take care of it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Would you like to talk about the next auction?
Already?
Next one will be spring of 2025.
Okay.
And the primary focus is to get rid of the old dump trucks.
Good.
There's about 4 or 5 of them. And a trench box that's too big for our public works department to utilize. And just other items that we can find. So we're doing really good in getting rid of some of the stuff that we're not utilizing.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
We had talked before about having some kind of a zoning workshop.
Yes.
I spoke with the mayor, and he would like to know from all of you if you would like to have 2 hours in an evening or a Saturday, and to come up with dates so that we could plan this. With the holidays coming up, we need to consider that this is a really important issue that we need to start dealing with.
Yes.
We need to work on that map. We need to work on the ordinance. We need to work on some of these things so that we can move forward in that area. We keep kicking this can down the line, and I would really, I know Mr. Laforet, along with me, would really like to see some movement. And we can't do it without you.
Can we maybe do like the 5 to 7 in an evening?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it pretty much doesn't matter, but if you can get here by 5 o'clock, 7 is not that late. I mean, it takes up a big part of the evening, but to go from 6 to 8 is kind of rough.
Yeah. Thursday, maybe?
On Thursday?
Let's talk about that more. I would normally say Saturday, but I know my son is going to start basketball soon, and those weekends are taken up.
Do they have like, would they have early games, like if we do from 8 to 10?
Colorado.
Oh, I was gonna say like 8 to 10 or 6 to 8?
5 to 7 on a Thursday? Is a Thursday a good day for everybody?
That's the day of Encuesta, so I don't have to come from house.
Oh,
So
okay.
Brad still has to come from house.
Yeah,
Thursdays.
Thursdays,
In November?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's November, Thursday, 5 to 7.
We have November 7th, the 14th, 21st, the 28th is Thanksgiving, so we're not doing that day.
Me and the mayor can't do the 14th.
How about 7?
The 7th?
I can do this.
Jason, are you still on?
You know, I'm available most of the time.
Yeah, I can do this.
I'm whatever you want to do. On Saturday evenings, I'm good with everything.
So November 7th, a Thursday from 5 to 7?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. That's great. So the next meeting for the councilors is November the 12th. The mayor and Councilor Brent Jaramillo will be at the National League of Cities City Summit, and so they will not be here. We need to know if you would like to continue to have a meeting so we can work on an agenda, or if you would just want to cancel that meeting. One of the things that we did have slated for that meeting was the Water Trust Board documents for the loan and the grant, all of that for the well. We're going to, I mentioned last week that we were going to apply for the match waiver or the match funding so that we can pay the match out of the grant instead of, out of a grant instead of paying it out of the general fund. But we do need to go forward with this. We can spend the winter doing plan and design and get it going for the summer. So we could either do it on that day or we can see if we can postpone it until the second meeting in November.
Which would be the week of Thanksgiving on the 26th?
It would be on the 26th, which is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
So
And
is
we
that,
also have somebody else that's wanting to present on the 12th, and we told them we may not have a meeting, so they would be willing to come on the 26th. This would be Lisa O'Brien from the Housing Association in Taos.
I think it'd be important to have the mayor here, so I have no problem tabling the one on the 12th. As long as it's not critical, as long as your documents are not critical to be approved that day and can wait till the 26th.
Okay. Ms. Vigil, will you reach out to the Water Trust Board and ask them if they could do the meeting approval on the 26th instead of the 12th?
Yes.
Thank you. So if we do send out an agenda, that'll be the reason why it would be a short meeting.
Okay.
Probably to do that. So we will have 3 counselors here, if the 3 of you will show up, and we would have a quorum to take care of that business. We will make sure that the documents get sent out to you ahead of time so that you can review them. There are a few documents. They did arrive to us today from NMFA, and we sent them to Chris for review.
Good.
So it's going to take him a little bit to get through all of those.
Right.
He does have to have them returned to us by November 1st so we can return them to NMFA so that they can have the final document.
Okay. Very good.
Okay, I stand for any questions.
Counselors?
Did you guys finally switch over with the website? Remember you guys were going to do something with the website?
Ms. Vigil, do you want to answer the question about the website and when it's switching over?
Oh, Lord. Okay, I will go live soon. There's a few things that I need to fix. I just haven't had the time to do it. But I have marked some time when I come back to get those fixed. And then I can submit for a request to make the page live. So it's just been a little chaotic the last couple weeks, so I haven't had a chance to do it, but I promise I will, and then I'll give you a better update.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
I have no questions.
I just want to say one more thing. The guys did an awesome job on that dig with the plug sewer line. it was a bunch of tree roots, like in a ball, and it wasn't just one ball, it was 2 or 3 or 4, and it was just all mangled up in together. They dug yesterday, couldn't find the manhole, found a water line. The sewer line was below the water line, went down 8 feet. They started digging this morning when they found the manhole, and it needs to have a riser installed in it. They can't do that right now because it has to be special ordered for the size of those pipes and whatever that's there. So they've taken the information, we're gonna have to put an order in, and then probably next spring they'll have to dig it up and put a riser in there so they don't have to dig down 8 feet to find this manhole for the sewer. Mr. Rayal had mentioned to me last Friday that they were going to have to be starting to flush some of these lines that are problem areas for these root systems that keep going into the sewer line, and we got a plug already. So they'll continue to work on that before winter and see if we can get ahead of some of these things so they don't happen again, especially in the winter time.
Yes, very good.
They did a great job. They were out there. They were so relieved today. I was here with them last night after 7 when they came in, and they were exhausted. They were so tired. They didn't know what to do next. I said, you know what, clear your mind, go home, rest, come back in the morning, you'll have a new plan. When I met with them this morning a little after 7, they had a plan. I told them we all prayed, you guys are going to get it done today. And they went out there and they did the job, and they did it really well. So
that's awesome.
I just give them kudos because they worked really, really hard.
Definitely let them know we appreciate all of their hard work and all the efforts that they do to get these issues taken care of. I'm sure those are probably Chinese elm roots.
All kinds of trees over there. Big trees, big cottonwoods, Chinese elms. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Really crazy. And the road, Garcia Road, is so narrow to go up, and then Bailon Road, it was in that corner. And it's a very narrow road to get the backhoe in there, to get the big trucks in there. We really need our back truck. They can hardly wait until they get their back truck. I think they're all going to jump for joy when that thing arrives. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is matters from mayor and council members. Councilors, do you have any matters this evening?
I have no matters tonight.
Councilor Armeo?
No.
Councilor Jason Gonzalez, do you have any matters this evening for us?
Yes, regarding the South Cairo Road entrance off of Highway 38, can we contact the highway department and get a real sign put up? Thinking about South Yamo Road. I know there's some residents up on that road that live there. The responsibility for caring for the road, is it on us or is it the Forest Service? Obviously not the state. This is a question after many times on that road this past week. It is horrible.
Madam Administrator, do you have an answer for that question?
So that road starts on 522 and goes across towards Pinabete Hills, and then goes across, and that what we've heard is Forest Service property, and then ties into Cabresto Road. And so
I looking at a map, I did see that some of those residents do fall within village limits. So does that make us responsible?
I don't believe so. Mr. Rayal said no when I asked him about it, because I've had inquiries. We do put water lines and sewer lines in there for, not sewer lines, but we have water lines through there for people. We were out there time back with the Sanchez's that have property up there and trying to figure out where we're going to put their water meters. But we don't maintain that road. All the maps show that it is Forest Service there.
Okay, can we create a conversation with the Forest Service and see about getting a grader there?
Go ahead.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez.
Yes.
Mayor and I have had a discussion with the Forest Service representatives regarding that road, and they know that there's some responsibility on their part to maintain that road. However, they're now saying that there are some easement issues and survey issues with that road, and they're going to investigate those easement issues and find out exactly what parts of that road they are responsible for. But when Mayor and I talked to them about it, about maintaining it, they did say that they realized that there were portions of that road they were responsible for, and they believe that the county also bears some responsibility, but they're using this easement discussion as a, I guess for lack of a better word, a tactic to investigate it and then see where their responsibility lies. So in short, there's no clear answer right now, but it has been brought up with the Forest Service.
Excellent, thank you. Thank you for that answer. No further questions or comments?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you everyone for your input this evening. It's been a very successful meeting, and I will adjourn this meeting at 6:52.